And welcome to the morning blessings. Today is Good Friday. Blessed Good Friday to you. Here we are it is the 29th day of March 2024, 7:59 a.m. And how are you feeling today? Did you ask yourself that question? It's important to ask that question because when we start our day, we need to know what it is we're going to do, how we feel about it. One of the things I like is what Isaiah said, right? The prophet Isaiah. I'm just not going to be religious, but I wanted to remind you of that. Just in case you haven't heard it, consider the rock from which you were cut. Consider the quarry from which you were dug. And if you know that, and if you remember that, then it is making it a lot easier for you to manage the life you have before you. So here we are. So the morning blessings today is the pillar of emotional prosperity. And it is an important pillar like all the other 5 pillars of prosperity. You know, we have 5 pillars of prosperity. And when we hold them in our life and we put them in the forefront of right in front of us, and we realize those pillars need to be balanced in order for us to enjoy the life we were created to have. To be there and to see how we can maneuver and go through life completely enjoying it. So that's why the pillars of prosperity are so important. If you have never heard of the pillars before, this is my core. The pillar of prosperity, those 5 pillars, I really believe them. They're my North Star. They are the things that pushes me forward so that I am able to come here. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning. You are the only one today, Lisa. How are you? Happy, yes. So there you go. It's Good Friday. Everybody's snoozing. So anyway, the 5 pillars, as you know, it is important. But today we are going to talk about the pillar of emotional prosperity. Why I chose emotional prosperity, I have no idea. But one thing I know, when we have our emotion is actually propelled into different direction by our 5 senses. We know that. We've touched on it before. I talk about that. We react to what we see. We react to what we hear. We react to what we touch. We react to what we smell. We react to what we taste. It's always a reaction. The pillars are all different. Sometimes we take the pillar of mental prosperity and we shift it. Good morning, Nancy. And blessed Good Friday to you guys. Today is Good Friday, as you know. So sometimes we take hi, Lynn. Good morning. How are you guys feeling today? We take the mental prosperity and emotional and we make them the same. They're not. Emotional prosperity is how you react to what you have seen, heard, taste, touch, and you feel or smell. Whereas mental is the ability to recall what you know and to apply it appropriately at the right time. So they're 2 different things, but there's a line and they just sometimes cross the line. One of the things you must remember when you're facing emotional, good morning, Loretta, how are you feeling this morning? Prosperity. This is what we all should remember. Isaiah said it in his 51st chapter. He said, consider the rock from which you were cut. Consider the quarry from which you were dug. Do we ever take our time and think, wow, our root is important. That gives us strength. What rock did I come from? What quarry was I dug from? Is it a weak one? Was I that big stone? Good morning, Amma. How are you on this blessed Good Friday morning? So when our emotions are balanced, this is the time to question that and ask what Isaiah said that we should. Consider the rock from which you were cut and consider the quarry from which you were dug. And if you know for sure that you were dug from a strong, powerful rock, and that quarry was unique, amazing, an amazing place, amazing quarry, that is your root. And because emotional prosperity depends so much entirely on what we see, we hear, we feel, we taste, we touch, we smell. We have to be aware of, good morning, Yoko, how are you feeling today? Blessed Good Friday to you. We have to be aware of how we are going to manage this. We have to be aware of how we manage emotional prosperity. Yes, as I said, there's a line between emotional prosperity and mental prosperity, and we seem to blur the line. One is the ability to recall mental prosperity. Let us recall what it is we have or we know and apply it at the appropriate time. Can I call you Jane when you're really Rose? That is mental prosperity taking a slight hit. Emotional, though, is not responding in a way that will benefit you. And sometimes that's why in my gratitude journal, I have this page for you. And it says, remember that, ask yourself that question. Is what I'm going to do in this moment going to take me closer or further away from my dream, goals, and desire? That is powerful. And that is the same like what Isaiah said. Consider the rock from which you were cut before you jump. And let your emotions take you down the valley. And if halfway down you say, shit, I wasn't cut from that type of cloth. Or was I cut from that type of stone? The quarry. Where was I? Where do I come from? What is my root? How did I get there? So that is one of the things we have to remember. We have to know how and when to manage that thing called emotion. We always ignore it because we were not taught to embrace it and to really look at it. They'll say you have a bad temper because you flew off the handle, but there is something behind this that caused you to flew off the handle. Nobody stops to tell you that. Manage your emotion. Nobody teaches you. They'll just tell you you are bad. If you're a child, they tell you you're naughty. They tell you this, you're that. You have a temper, you do not wait, you just jump in, you do this. But nobody realizes that this is something we weren't taught to manage. And we know when our emotion is going out of whack, we ignore it because everything to do with us, ourselves, we were taught to ignore. What we were told was important is everybody else. Everybody else. So that is something we have to go back to and collect. How do we do that? I'm always saying manage your emotional prosperity. I don't know what Amma mean by strange, but that's okay. Manage your emotional prosperity and figure what you can do with it. How do we do that? Again, a little bit about it is, if I say musing, it is. Because sometimes it's not always bad how we manage emotion. We can muse and laugh at it. Well, it's gone, it's done, it's okay. That is knowing. The thing, though, to really connect with your emotional prosperity, good morning, Arita, how are you feeling this morning? Is one thing you must do is to take time to sit in silence and stillness and connect. Our emotions can, if we do not do that, can make us blind to what is already in our life. Our emotions, if we do not take, hi Terry, good morning, happy blessed Good Friday to all of you guys. If we do not control that little thing that is saying, my sister Dawn does it best to me. She says, when she says, I'm so glad she's retired. I haven't got to hear the angels on her shoulder. She said, there's one angel that's telling her, let them have it. And the other angel is saying, pull back. She's very much aware that there are two angels working on her at the same time. And sometimes it's my internet. Okay, thank you, Amma. Sometimes it is strange for her. She doesn't know which one to go to, and she might go, grounded Kiki, good morning. Welcome to the morning blessings. And she doesn't know if she should go to the one that says, take it on, take it on. And inevitably, my sister takes it on. And then she will call to regroup. And then, so I am constantly pulling her back from the edge. And there are 3 people in our family that they go from 0 to 60 because they're so powerful in their own beliefs. lucky for them, they don't go over the edge. Something pulls them back, whether it's a voice. But the thing about emotional prosperity is that it's choosing how you're going to react to that person who is telling you, Tessa, you are freezing a lot. I am, oh, I'm so sorry. All the internet is at top notch. Again, like Amma said, strange. That's all we can do. Instagram is not always a good husband or a good wife. It seems to always want to divorce us. So what can we do? You know what? We have to choose where we're going to speak. And maybe one day we'll gravitate to YouTube and do our life there, because it seems to be more stable. So anyway, let's just do the best we have with what we've got. Like my mother would say to me, you know what? You can't stop now. You're too far. Just keep going. So when we look at emotional prosperity, we have to understand what we hear is always the most common one. When somebody says something to you, we react. And oh, see, Juliana has it. So it's YouTube. They're fighting if somebody in Washington, maybe. Let's blame Washington. We don't know who else. Let's blame Washington. So the emotional prosperity thing is that it knocks you off. You're right there, and somebody cut you off, and instead of you just let it go, you chase them down to have a discussion with somebody that you do not know what they're carrying with them. Is having hiccups. Thanks, Yuko. And we do not know what it is carrying. We do not know what they have. We do not know what brought them to the edge. And we are going to follow their wind. That is what we do. When somebody is angry and they're letting us have it, and we choose to go with them, we're just following them in the wind. That's all we're doing. We have no idea where this thing is headed, but we have let our emotion hurt us, squeeze us. The best thing though to do is to learn about our emotion. How do you feel? It's always about the feeling. How do you feel? And we need to learn to capture those that we love, the feelings that we love. Do you feel so good that you're driving in your car and you're just feeling amazing, and then somebody does something stupid and you let it take you with them? You don't know their journey. You don't know what has happened this morning. They have a common thing. They say, who peace in their conflict. When they get angry at you, in Creole, they would say, Loretta, don't laugh. In Creole, they would say, c'est pas moi qui mord tout manger cabrit bon Dieu. So what it means is they're saying, it's not me that stole or ate your sacrificial lamb. You had a lamb to sacrifice to God, and somebody stole it in the middle of the night. So you woke up angry. But it's not me. I didn't touch your sacrificial lamb. So these are the type of things we're going to have to learn to observe when somebody is always on the edge. And even if we are having a conversation, like when I know my sister is on the edge, I always go, okay. All I do is okay. So much so, she was dissatisfied with something recently, and she sent it to somebody who sent it to me. And it's just a color. And then when they showed it to me, I said, oh, well, okay. And they said, that is what Don said you're going to say. I said, well, of course, it has nothing to do with me. Hi, Kimberly, good morning. I said, why should I get involved in that wind? Tell me, why should I get myself captured in a wind I cannot control? It's not my wind. So you learn to do that by listening to when people are speaking or what they're saying before you fly off the handle and let your emotions take you down the drain. So we are talking about emotional prosperity, how it is based entirely on our 5 senses, right? We react to those senses like hell, especially the one that we hear. So we have to do an appraisal at work. The person doing the appraisal on you is not giving you what you desire. The person doing the appraisal on your house to give you a mortgage is not giving you the numbers you're looking for. So you're hearing appraisal. The person giving you an appraisal on your behavior is not what you want to hear. The person giving you an appraisal on how you look is certainly not what you want to hear. The person giving you an appraisal of what you say, you do not want to hear that. But you have to picture where you are. You have to learn at that time, in the moment, balanced emotional and prosperity is making you decide, should I go? Should I take this on? Or should I let it go? To get your emotional prosperity to that point, I will go back to the results of those behaviors, right? You have to take time in contemplation. I call it musing, I call it inflecting, I call it reflecting, I call it prayer, I call it meditation. Balance. Balance yourself in the morning. In Christian things, they say, cover yourself with the blood of Christ. Whatever you have to do something so that when you step off the door this morning, no matter what you meet, you'll be able to manage or handle it or go through it. We read, we see movies, we look at books. In the Lord of the Rings, what did Sam say to Frodo? He said, Frodo, you never know what you're going to step in when you open your door in the morning. Simple. We don't know. And you can take it in any way. They were going to have fun in the Shire. The wizard had a wind of his own. The wizard had a plan. He came calling. And since they had no plan, they got caught up in that emotional journey of the Lord of the Rings. That's how life is. So the time we take, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and connect. Ground yourself in yourself. Ground yourself, because last night you had your nighttime practices. I am going to get up, fired up, and ready to go. And guess what? The knee hurts. The toe is cramping. You're pulling a muscle in your calves. Your shoulder is. You have a headache. Your eyes is blurry. Your stomach is growling. All of those things. You weren't prepared for none of them. But you had yourself set for a good day. What do you do now? Is no point to be angry and lose your cool, like all what you heard, see, and all those. Because there are repercussions to behaviors like that. And in the work environment, in the environment of appraising your property, appraising your life, appraising your finances, appraising, we are appraised endlessly. In the way of doing that, you do not like it, so you go off the handle. So let us just look at a situation where the person is holding the handle of the knife and the blade is pointed at you. Meaning, what you desire, they've got it, and you need to get it from them. They're not willing to let it go. So is this the right time for you to grab the blade of the knife and pull? Is it? Or are you not thinking? Are your emotions so far gone that you cannot say, oh, I have to find a way. I need that blade going the other way. I need that handle in my hand. I need to wait to fight another day. I need to reserve my energy. I do not have to cry all now. I can cry a little later. I need to stand up strong and take it. You have to balance your emotion by meditation, relaxation, breathing, drinking water, relaxing, finding time to connect with yourself. If we cannot connect with ourselves, we will not be able to connect with our life. We will have a life going north and we are heading south. We need to learn to manage emotion, because the person you get fired. Why? You told the supervisor or the person in charge where to go. Your attitude, sometimes they are just waiting, but you do not know that. They have a plot. So your attitude, your body language, your face, your inflection in your voice, so many things affect people that are holding the handle of the blade, of the knife in their hand. That all they do is push. They cut you. They cut you off your job. And then it goes down south for a bit, and you find me. Tessa-Marie, my finances is a mess. And then when I dig like when, consider the rock from which you were cut and the quarry from which you were dug. When I dig deeper into you, I find out it's not your finance that's the cause of your situation now. The finance is just a symptom of your emotional behavior a year ago. Your physical health today is the results of your physical activities 10 years ago. Your spiritual belief is from the behavior or what you heard as a child that is still making you believe that money is an evil thing that will kill you, take you to hell. And of course, you all know about the man and the camel and all those people. But no, emotions got fired up by a family member that says, we will never have money. My dad was a drunk. My mother was this. And it just goes on. And you heard it and you believe it. And you see money. Oh, money is good. If you guys have money, you go to hell. Rich people are bad. And all of that. And as soon as you get paid, you spend and spend and spend. You just cannot keep it. You don't even know why. You're looking for satisfaction. But it's emotionally, you're not there. And it is not the only precursor to anything. Any one of the pillars can be the cause. But the one we ignore the most is emotions. We do not really connect with our emotions. As I said at the beginning, we weren't taught to express how we feel. Get over it. Do what you have to do. Step into the moment. You made your bed, lie down in it. Stay in the bad relationship. Let people abuse you. You cannot say how you feel. But now you're an adult, you see. And this is the time that you can decide, you know what? I'm going to be me. I'm going to feel. I'm going to take my time and be aware. When I stand there with that smile on my face, you have to say, is because I can feel the breeze on my face. I can feel it. And you have to be bold to say to yourself first in the mirror, I love how this makes me feel when I do it. Whatever that is. Whatever you do that you love the feeling it brings out of you, that's where you should go get more of it. The more you get of it, the more you can suppress all of those that are coming at you. And then the day will come when somebody will have criticized you that would shake you and bring your emotions down, that could take you down that hole of saying, of fighting them, telling them something that you know is not going to be able to come back. That you can look at them and you can say, I understand, or maybe you don't. Or you could just say, you know what? All I know for sure is that I did my best. And you do not even have to go further and say, if my best wasn't good enough, well, you don't go there. Know when to stop. Just say, even if your children say, Mom, you did not raise me right. It's because you didn't do this and do that. You know what? You did not come with instructions. Could be something you would say, but instead you say, you know what? I did my best with what I had. And do not go back and hurt yourself some more by saying, if I had known, I would have done that. Because you see, if stands stiff, if does not move, if doesn't go back, if stays where it is. So what you must remember, once it has passed, you need to live it in the past. And you have to say, I am what I am today because of the experiences that I had before. Hi, Tani J. Blessed Good Friday to you. How are you feeling today? So our emotions is exactly that. Our emotional prosperity. We need to make sure we connect with ourselves and believe we've got it. Love it. Prepare to manage the world when you step out of your door in the morning. It's going to come left and right at you. You might have all the good intentions of how you're going to manage your day. You've set it up last night. And now you are in the day and there are daggers flying at you. You have to duck. You have to believe, I'm going to hold on to this and do my best. I'm going to give the day the best that I have. And when you know you have done that, Do not let anybody tell you you haven't done the best. That is balance. Bring your emotions so that when they throw the appraisals in different forms, people appraise you even when they don't know you. They maybe have never even been in the same room with you and drew the same breath. But yet, they believe they have a right to appraise you. They don't know you. And verbally, it hurts. It remains with you. But if you have a sound foundation and you know, consider the stone from which you were cut and the quarry from which you were dug. If you know that's powerful, nobody, absolutely nobody can shake you. And it's easy for me to say because it takes practice, and I practiced it already. And if you haven't practiced believing and building on your emotional prosperity, find out what you can do. Take time to breathe. Take time to balance. For a change, instead of dashing and rushing, walk slower. Purposely walk slower. When you walk slower, enjoy what you see. You see that magnificent smile that you have, and you flash it. The person that sees it in a glance maybe have never spoken to you, will never say, but you just have that person will feel that you are sending out contentment and peace. And it is so important that we realize that our energy affects the energy of others. But when your emotional prosperity is whack, it affects all of the other pillars like they affect each other. So when you come to me about a financial situation and I dig, I will find out it's emotion that's the cause. Finance is just a symptom. What causes stomach ache is what you ate. So you know the cause, but it's a symptom that you're thinking about. Same thing with emotion. What is causing me to react this way? My emotion is out of whack. It's what I heard. What can I do? Believe I am better than that. Believe that I am worthy. Believe I am okay. There is nothing broken in me. Even if you are telling me everything about me is broken, even if you are reminding me of all the mistakes I made in raising you, even if you remind me of all the choices I made that did not benefit you, even if you do all of that, it still is not going to change who I am. And that is what we have to tell ourselves. It begins by getting to know you. How do we get to know ourselves? By listening to ourselves. How you talk, your inflection, your facial expression, your ability to take in and listen to what the person is saying. Let them have their say. Proverbs tells us, he who answers before he has heard the entire thing is a fool. But then we learned at school that empty vessels make the most noise. Same thing, eh? So you see, we need to learn to connect with emotion before we step out into the outdoor in the morning. Because there's going to be the first thing, the cold air, if it's cold, the heat of a summer morning, it's going to affect our emotion. You're feeling hot before you step out. You step out, it's hot, and you say, oh, my skin is itching because it's so hot. Or I'm freezing because it's so cold. Emotion. And it is sometimes the cause. And the symptom is something we know because we can feel it, we can hear it, we can taste it, we can touch it, we react to all of that. And that's why balance your emotional prosperity by relaxing every day for as little time as you can afford or as many times as you can afford throughout the day. There are people I know that stop for 10 minutes every hour, just 10 minutes. Even if you're working, you don't have to stop 10 minutes, but you can walk around the block in your house for 5 minutes. You can get up and you can go to the water to the water fountain at work for 5 minutes. You can just leave where you are and take a couple deep breaths. And that alone will put you there. You breathe in for 4, you hold for 7, you release through your straw, make your mouth into a straw, and blow it out for 8. A few times, just to reconnect. I'm okay. I'll do this. I'm worthy. I've got all it takes. I am equipped. I know from what stone I am cut. Or they say cloth, right? And I certainly know from what quarry I was dug. And that gives me the strength to continue to be me. And remember, put your concentration with the actions that you love. And when you do them and you get that special, lovely feeling, stay there. Because that's the most important place to be. Happy Easter to you. I hope you enjoy your chocolate. And the bunny brings you all kinds of joys and nice things for Easter. Yeah, it's Easter. Easter used to be a huge thing here when the crowd was here. But now it's kind of quiet, eh? Everybody's doing, isn't it funny? You have to go join them now for you to spend time with them. And that happens, and that is part of the journey of life. So if you are having to be the one making the big meal, remember, there comes a time when you are going to be part of a group and you are not making the big meal. And that's cool too. So enjoy wherever you are in your life, and remember, where you are is exactly where you're supposed to be. Nowhere else. So let me see what the 4 of you that are hanging for dear life over here. Loretta, Lisa, Lynn, Andrew, Nancy. What wonderful human beings I have. I love you guys. And have a wonderful, happy Easter, everybody. And, enjoy your chocolate and enjoy your wine and just enjoy. But we do not know what tomorrow will bring. Have a great day. Love you. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.